and you're here. My name is Sabrina Phillips, and I am currently a service director working with the NHS and other partners. I'm also a mental health nurse by background. On this channel, I give you the tips to skyrocket your nurse career. I'll also at some point be giving some videos on how you can go on budget travel tips, as well as tell you how I take care of my hair at home. In today's video, what I thought I would cover with you is my reasons for using an executive coach to support with my interview skills. So if that's something that you're interested in, please come in. So firstly, what I want to say is there's a difference between mentoring and having a coach. And one tip I'd say to, newly qualified nurses, nurses in training, is that mentorship is not only for being a student. You need a mentor throughout your nursing career, and over the years I've had a number of mentors, and one of the things that you need a mentor for is that there's somebody with more experience than you in a particular field that would have supportive conversations with you about where you want your career to go, and they'll also give you tips or use their own experiences that you can listen to and take bits from that you can put into your practice. The difference with a mentor and a coach is there to have specific directed conversations with you about specific areas of your career. So in this example, I'm talking about I used a coach to help me with interview skills. You might want to have a coach to help with particular areas of your leadership so that you can go back and test different things out. So what I want to then go through with you is why I used a coach and some of the things you might want to think about if you are going to potentially have a coach to support you in a particular area of your nurse career. So firstly, what you want to do is ensure that you find a coach that has got the training in that coaching. You'd be surprised the number of people out there that can open up businesses as coach but not have a specific qualification. So what you want to check is that they have got that qualification in coaching. One of the key things to do might be to get a recommendation from a friend or colleague. In my case, I got this recommendation from one of my managers. They'd used this specific coach before. So one, I was assured that this person had training, but two, that they'd had some results. And that's the second thing that you should look out for when you're looking for a coach is what has been some of their success stories, in terms of the specific areas that you want them to work with you on. What have been some of the people that they've worked with, what have they said about them. So make sure you, one, check that they've got their credential, and two, what is their outcomes in the specific area that you're looking for. Thirdly, you want to ensure that you can work with this person, because what you'd want at the end of it is a specific outcome. So my outcome was I really wanted to ace my interview. I really wanted to get the job, but what I really wanted to do in that interview was put forward the best version of myself. So in terms of the third thing you want to do is ensure that you can work with that person so they get the best out of you. A coaching relationship is very different from a mentor. It's not a friend, it's somebody to be there as a critical person, but you need to make sure that you can take that feedback from that person. So one of the things that I would suggest when you're looking for this coach is have a first conversation with them to see how that works, because again, like I said, you are working with them to get a specific outcome, and you need to ensure that when you go into that space you can bring your whole self into that. And that takes me on to my fourth point, is about how they manage confidentiality in that coaching relationship, because again, you are going to be bringing work things into the space to think about how you might manage specific situation where you go back. In this case, I was talking about specific cases I'd worked on and using that for my interview. So again, you need to make sure that whatever you say in your coaching space is kept in that coaching space. And again, it links back to, is that person got a qualification in coaching, because with that they'd have to sign up to some specific principles, or even an organization that would have all that confidentiality written into the space and being contracted. Last bit is it needs to be time limited. again, in my case, I went for an executive coach to help me with my interviewing techniques. So we had about 4 different sessions, and in each session we covered different areas that were related to the role I was going to. So again, you need to ensure that it is not a rolling relationship, and if it is, it would, for me, put up some red flags, because again, you are you're working with a coach for a specific area that you're working on, and that could be time limited. You might want to engage them again for further work, but what I'm saying is, if the work that you're doing, if they initially said it's 4 sessions and it extends into 10, then there might be some red flags that should start pinging. So you might have some questions about, one, where do you find a coach? What I will do is put a link in the description box below about how you can access coaching via the NHS Leadership platform, NHS Leadership Academy. They do have coaches that are trained in their specific, I think, 360 healthcare coaching that you can access for free. And again, they give you time limited spaces. I'd suggest going back to your organisation, because I said at the very start of this video, as a nurse you do need mentorship throughout your career, but also think for specific areas in your career you do need coaching, and most organisation would have some sort of either organisational development department that would have coaching and mentorship built in, so that you can access that as part of your development. The other tip I would say is ensure that you include it in your professional development plan or your appraisal, so that the organisation would support you in paying for these sessions. They are not cheap, and ideally, because it's for your own development that would support the organisation, you'd want to get their support to help you to pay for this. However, for some people, they might want to have coaching for their own self-development, and hence you might want to go outside of work, and just be aware that you might need to pay for those sessions, and being aware that how much that would cost, and factor that in. So I hope this was helpful in terms of why I went for an executive coach to help with my interview, but also some of the things that you might want to look out for if you too are going to employ or work with an executive coach to support your career development. If there's anything that you want me to go a bit more deeper into on what I've said, please let me know in the comments. But if you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, share, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Let's be bold and brave together.